Today what we're here to do is talk about an operation dubbed as Fantastic Shakers. Over the last year, the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, Lancaster Police Department, and the Chester County Sheriff's Office has investigated an increased number of methamphetamine complaints. Each agency represented here today has charged numerous people with methamphetamine possession, manufacturing, and unlawful disposal of methamphetamine waste. During those investigations, it became apparent that many of the involved suspects were working and conspiring together to make methamphetamine. We contacted the State Law Enforcement Division along with the Attorney General's office and asked them could we further investigate this case with their assistance. During this time, it was determined that the involved individuals did conspire and work together to purchase precursors, possess, manufacture, distribute, traffic, and dispose of methamphetamine waste. The investigation was presented to the statewide grand jury, and 30 people in Lancaster County were indicted along with 7 in Chester County. On September the 3rd, yesterday, we began making the arrest, and all but 2 have been arrested up to this point. Methamphetamine labs and meth in general have been a growing problem throughout the state of South Carolina over the last few years. I want to say that the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office will always work hard to be proactive in trying to get ahead of the drug problem here in Lancaster County. We will always partner with other agencies to make or offer a better service to our citizens here in Lancaster.
Sheriff, I wanted to ask you about, when you're talking about something that's this big with this many people, can you talk about just how that conspiracy worked, what kind of things they were doing together to make this all fit together sort of in one group?
We could just have different groups set up. One would go purchase the items needed to make this stuff, and then they would use another one's house, and then once the methamphetamine was made, they would go out and distribute it or do it themselves. Just being able to tie them all together.
And how much of a dent would you say that this has made in the meth trade?
Well, I think this is a huge success for Lancaster County and Chester County too. Anytime you can get 30 people off the street dealing in this quantity of methamphetamine, it will make a huge impact.
Will this be leading to other arrests or any other meth lab busts?
Very possible.
When you're talking about a state grand jury indictment like this, and you're talking about these trafficking charges, are you looking at, because you've got the conspiracy element here, are you looking at possibly trying to go for longer sentences here, keeping these people off the streets for a longer time than if it was just one person or 2 people working independently?
Well, absolutely. We certainly don't need these kind of folks out on the street around my family or your family, either one. You know, from day one, at least ever since I've taken office, our goal was to work aggressively when it comes to drugs, and we'll continue to do that as long as I'm sheriff. I just think it's unsafe. Folks out here are a menace to society. They use drugs to feed other crimes such as your burglaries, your larcenies, and we'll continue to work aggressively when it comes to drugs.
I'd like to hear from somebody at SLED, just talking about from the map here, the upstate, of course, Charleston and the Midlands areas too. Lots of meth out there. What is SLED doing on a statewide level to help kind of combat these operations?
Yeah. Well, you know, we handle the drug lab cleanup throughout the state, and the state legislature has increased the amount that they've given us from $1 million to 1.5 million. So we handle that. We're constantly in contact with the other agencies about their issues for that one reason alone, but for other reasons, because it is such a problem. And this is not just a use problem, but it's a child endangerment issue and it's an environmental issue, which you don't get from stuff that comes out west. I mean, that's just a use problem. But when you leave dump sites, it can pollute our water, and you have children exposed to these labs, these homemade labs.